Good day everyone, you are welcome to today's tutorial. In this video, I want to show you how to calculate Sediment Transport Index in ArcGIS. Before we start, let's quickly go through what is Sediment Transport Index. The Sediment Transport Index is a topographic indicator used to estimate the potential movement of sediment across a landscape, and it is derived from digital elevation models and combines slope gradients and upslope contributing area to identify locations where erosion and sediment transport are likely to occur. And the interpretation of Sediment Transport Index is this: higher Sediment Transport Index indicates greater potential for sediment movement, while lower value suggests area where sediment may accumulate or remain stable, and it has various applications. The index is widely applied in hydrology, geomorphology, and environmental management because it helps to explain how terrain influences soil erosion and sediment redistribution. The application of Sediment Transport Index is important in watershed management, land use planning, and soil conservation. So the Sediment Transport Index is also used in agricultural planning to reduce soil loss, in river basin studies to predict sediment delivery, and in infrastructure development to minimize erosion risk. And here is the formula for calculating Sediment Transport Index. It is calculated as power of flow accumulation divided by 22.13, 0.6 multiplied by power of sine into bracket slope divided by 0.896, 13. So I'm going to show you practically how to calculate it in ArcGIS. So let's get started. In ArcGIS, the first thing we are going to do is to bring in our digital elevation model, which I've done. Here is my digital elevation model for Oluyole local government area. So we are going to calculate the sediment transport index for this area. So the first thing to do is to fill this DEM to remove any artificial sinks in the digital elevation model. And to do that, come to Arc Toolbox. Then come to Spatial Analyst tool. Come to Hydrology, and here you can see the fill tool. Double click it to open the tool. So our input surface raster is going to be our digital elevation model, and our output raster, let's navigate to our working folder and name it Fill DEM. Then click on Save and click on OK. This will help us remove any artificial sinks in the digital elevation model. Yes, the fill DEM is done. The next thing we are going to do is to find the flow direction. So come to flow direction. Then our input surface raster will be our fill DEM, and our output raster is going to be flow direction. Then click on Save and click on OK. This will generate the flow direction for the area. Yes, here is the flow direction. So the next thing we are going to do is flow accumulation. So I'll come to this flow accumulation tool, and our input flow direction raster, click on the drop down and select the flow direction. Then our output accumulation raster, let's call this flow accumulation. Click on Save, then click on OK. Yes, here is our flow accumulation. Here is our flow accumulation. I can close this. Now, after we have calculated flow direction, flow accumulation, the next thing we need to do is to generate our slope map from our original digital elevation model. So to do that, come back to Arc Toolbox, and then under Spatial Analyst tool, look for surface. Here is surface. Then come to slope. Then our input raster will be our original digital elevation model. And our output raster, let's name it as slope. And then click on save. The output measurements, I'll leave it in degree. And then click on OK. This will generate the slope map of this area. Yes, here is the slope map of the area. Now, after we have done this, it is time for us to calculate our sediment transport index. Remember, our formula is equal to power of flow accumulation divided by 22.13, 0.6 multiplied by power of sine slope divided by 0.896, 1. So to do that, let's go back to ArcGIS, and this time around, under Spatial Analysis tool, come to Map Algebra, and here you can see raster calculator. We are going to use raster calculator to calculate the sediment transport index. So double click the tool, and then here we enter that function, which is sediment transport index is equal to power. So come here and look for power. Here is power into bracket flow accumulation divided by 22.13, 0.6, then multiply by power, open brackets, look for sine, under trigonometry we can see sine of slope divided by 0.896, 1.3. So close the brackets. So the sediment transport index is equal to power of flow accumulation divided by 22.13, 0.6 multiplied by power of sine slope divided by 0.896, 1.3. Then our output raster, let's navigate to our working folder and call it sediment transport index. Click on save. Our expression, let me look at it again. Okay, I think the error is this. This figure is 0.0896, 1.3. So then click on OK. Yes, here is the sediment transport index for the area. So instead of stretch, I can just right click and come to properties, then click on classify, click on OK. We can classify into 5 classes, choose the appropriate color, and here I can right click and format the label. So I want it to be 1 decimal place. Click on OK and click on OK. Let me uncheck this. So we can see the sediment transport index map. So area with higher value indicates area that are vulnerable to sediment movement, while lower value indicates stable area. So if you have any question or clarification, let's know in the comment section. Thank you for watching.